Hey, 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 loves from up above. You know who this is. This is I, Star Goddess, back again, popping in and bringing you some juicy, juicy stuff to dive in. All right? And I want to welcome all of you to Tap In Healing Zones Therapy Toolkit Collective Session. And we're going to be diving into some taboo subjects. And since it's around the holidays, I find it to be a very appropriate time and the best time to venture into this session. And I do have a disclaimer. I am not a professional therapist. I'm a spiritual healing specialist. Okay, loves? And we're going to, again, dive into our therapy toolkit deck and pull out the energies that Spirit feels that is needed at this time. And I want to wish all of you happy holidays, and I hope that you and yours are well, and may many blessings embark upon you. Okay? And we're going to open up. But before we do, I want to mention the decks again. We're going to use the therapy toolkit, and I felt led to close out with my new, I think we only used it like one time before, my Tarot Sunkiss deck. But we're going to use it instead of part of the reading. We're going to use it as a tool to answer a yes or no question that you may have. Okay? Just for a little fun twist at the end. Okay? Alrighty, and we're using the energy of jade. I have on quite a bit of jade, but we're using the energy of jade for this reading. And I want you to Google what the benefits will be for you by using jade and what the benefits it provides. Okay, we're going to now open the session officially. Okay, loves, the session is now currently open, and we're going to dive right into this energy. I don't want to make this too long. Okay, let's see what's at the bottom. Ooh, we have change at the bottom of the deck, loves. Okay, I believe that's what Spirit really wants to do for all of us, is to bring about a positive change in our lives and to help us heal those things that bring us shame in our lives, right? Yes, and change came out again, and I cut the deck. Change the shame. All right, thank you, Spirit, angels, ancestors, way showers, and guides. Shame came out again, love. So that's really a strong energy for this reading. And I believe it's a lot of things in our lives, a lot of things that have occurred since childhood and maybe even some previous lifetimes that have brought us a lot of shame, that keeps us bound in many ways, whether it's physical, mental, spiritual, financial, relationships, all of it. And Spirit wants us to experience a lot more happiness in life. So this is why I'm feeling led and called to do this with you guys. Thank you, Spirit, angels, ancestors, way showers, to find out what your needs are, and Spirit's going to bring us in on the subjects that she feels that we need at this time. Thank you, Spirit, angels, ancestors, way showers, guides, ascended masters, fire, earth, air, water, and ether. Thank you for joining this message for the collective for Sunday, December 3rd, 2023. Thank you. And any energies that are not for our highest good to be escorted out. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Spirit, angels, ancestors, ratios, and guides. What is the energy that you want us to discuss for this therapy toolkit reading? Thank you. Okay, let's see. Compassion, loves. Compassion is the crowning energy for this reading, And this is something that I believe is something that we really all need. And notice I have on my Buddhist ring, not a coincidence, is the number one rule in Buddhism is compassion. And practicing compassion, love at its ultimate level. Okay, loves. Here we go. Let's see, Spirit. What is the energy you want us to talk about for this therapy toolkit reading? Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Let's see. Coping strategies, defense mechanisms. Ooh. And sexuality at the bottom. Wow. Okay. All right, these are the two energies. Spirit, do you want me to include the sexuality? No. Okay. The two energies we have here, loves, is compassion. And we have, let's see, show the front of the card, compassion. All right. And you see a lady here, she's tending to and nurturing and taking care of her plant there and making sure it's receiving this sunlight that it needs to grow and to receive nurturing energy from spirit, from Ra, from the sun, right? And here we have coping strategies and defense mechanisms, and this is all about experiences. And there's the picture here, and it looks like there's different facets of the mind being shown here. Yeah. And peeling back and looking inside, or trying to find a way out in some way. All right, loves, what I think about when I think about compassion, again, is a emotion, feeling that we experience empathically. When we express empathy towards someone else, when we have a consideration of someone else's feelings, when we, not just for someone else, loves, but Spirit is calling us to have compassion for ourselves. A lot of times we push our own feelings aside and put other people's feelings first, which is not always the best choice or the healthiest thing to do, because we find ourselves in a position of wondering, why am I giving so much? Why am I helping so much and I'm not receiving these things in return? Why am I loving so much? Why am I expressing and giving so much and I'm not receiving any of it in return? This is because, loves, you're not giving it to yourself first. So you're feeling empty, expecting people that may be empty and hurting themselves, and they don't have it to give to you. They never learned maybe how to give it to you because it was never given to them. They may never have learned how to express love to someone else or to themselves. So this is why we're doing these sessions, is so we can open up these topics so that we can maybe have a little peep inside. I'm not going to go into so deep in details as I would if I had a session with my 1111 clients, but I'm going to touch on it as much as I think is necessary, needed for this time around the holidays, that we're meeting up with our family, we're meeting up with friends and colleagues and associates at this time, right? So I think it's time to really pull back, as we see here, pull back the veil, okay, and take a peep inside and see what and more coping strategies can be utilized, or defense mechanisms. And a lot of people use a lot of defense mechanisms and have a lot of defense mechanisms up because they're feeling that they have given so much, they have not received it in return, so they're feeling that they have to go without somehow because they've never learned how to self-love. They never learned how to give love to oneself, or even how to find love within oneself, because of maybe all the layers of hurt and experiences and traumas and all of these things that we have experienced going through life, right? So I think a lot of coping strategies have been utilizing substances of some kind, anywhere from cigarette smoking to coffee to drinking alcohol to drugs of all kinds to sex addictions to oh my goodness, there's so much. Even what we may consider to be healthy habits, going to the gym. These are all things that we use to distract ourselves. And loves, we know the number one distractor, and the one that's always there all day, 24/7, is our cell phone, right? Okay, but we're not going to go into that any further. I think we mentioned that several times in the past. But we really find these things to distract ourselves, and we use it as a defense mechanism to keep from being hurt, right? Or to keep from being triggered from our inner wounds and our childhood traumas and our experiences that we've experienced early in life. That still in there, our inner child never leaves us, loves. So when our inner child is hurting, we hurt. When our inner child has memories of suffering in any kind of way, this is what causes us to put up our defenses against people, against the world, right? So, and our coping strategies is, again, reaching out to many addictions and distractions to keep us from getting hurt, or to keep us from feeling those feelings of our inner child hurting, right? And we try to give to others in hopes that they will be this resolution to our pain. And we enter into relationships hoping that they will be a healing balm to our wounded inner child, right? There's so many things that we run to, that we go to, that are so readily available to distract us, to give us that temporary comfort that we need. Religion is a top one that we run to, and we've learned to count on as a crutch, even though it has very, very, very beneficial things about it that can offer to us spiritually and mentally and all across the board, health-wise. And a lot of we learn how to and the importance of love by through religious organizations, right? But because we enter into these organizations in such a vulnerable state and such defense and needing and coping strategies, we utilize these for as a spiritual hospital, right? But because a lot of people are coming into the church or coming into any kind of a religion organization for healing as well, and for help and for a solution for their problems, right? For their inner child that is wounded. So they say hurt people hurt people. This is true. If you're walking around in pain and you're having your defense is up, right? You're going to maybe say something, do something that can trigger someone else that is also in pain. So it's so important, lovelies, at this time that Spirit is asking us to really, really tap in and try to work through those inner wounds, and ask your inner child, what do I need? What will make me happy today? Why is a certain situation so triggering? Why is a certain person so triggering? Why am I acting so defensive towards those that really love me? There's so many encounters and experiences that we have in life, loves, that come from, and they're there as lessons and tests for us to really do our shadow work without realizing that we're doing our shadow work. Because whenever we come to a state of awareness of any kind, it really is a first step towards healing of any kind. Right, loves? Okay, I'm trying to keep this as basic as possible without going into the real depths of it. So we're going to go ahead and read the cards and compassion. And we know if we had a world full of compassion that really took the time to nurture each other as well as ourselves, and we spent a lot of time in light, meaning tapping into spirit or our higher self, and being led in ways to take care of ourselves. And notice she's there alone. She doesn't have a friend there. She doesn't have a family member there. She doesn't have a sibling there, which is a family member. She doesn't have a co-worker, a colleague. She doesn't have anyone else in her presence. It's just her and spirit and what is needed to grow. Spirit is always available to help us to grow. All right, that's what I'm getting from that. And I'm seeing a lot of blue on this card too, so I'm seeing communication with spirit. Spirit is saying to increase our levels of self-compassion as well as being able to give compassion is to tap more into spirit and learn more of what real, true compassion is. Okay? All right, loves. And for me, I learned from spirit how to be compassionate. I learned how to have a heart towards humanity. I learned how to love myself. I learned how to have a compassionate heart towards others, even if they're mistreating me, even if they are hurting. To have that level of understanding, which is compassion. Right, loves? And also comes with a level of being able to forgive and all of these things. But again, we're not going to go into the depths of it. But I hope I've managed to tap into some things that could really bring you to some kind of resolution within whatever situation you're currently facing, or whatever situation or situations you may face in the future. All right, so now we have coping strategies and defense mechanisms. We're going to read from the card on this one, okay? And a lot of times, I'm looking at this one here as someone's mind is all over the place. All over the place. And trying to find some answers from the outside. And as some kind of defense to keep from being so fragmented in the mind. And having to reach out for defense mechanisms, or having defense mechanisms inside built up from a way of putting on armor to prevent from being hurt emotionally or spiritually, right? Okay, we're going to read the card. Coping strategies and defense mechanisms. Strategies considered responses, and mechanisms automatic responses, okay, we just talked about, for coping and self-defense are tools we shape early in our lives to help us survive difficult situations and experiences. Okay, love, see, I never read these cards, so that way it doesn't guide what I say to you. What I'm feeling channeling led to say to you. Okay? All right, here we go. Spirit knows what you need. I don't know what you need. All right, here we go. Their formation is linked to our capacity for resilience. And we often talk about resilience. I think Spirit, in a previous reading, Spirit has brought that up redundantly, the need for resilience and how to build and the importance of having resilience, right? Okay, and how nurtured we were in uncertainty and fear as infants and children, see? With firmly grounded resilience, healthy mechanisms and strategies are more likely to occur. Instinctively standing up for yourself if you are bullied, Helpful defense mechanism. Yes, that is a helpful defense mechanism. Standing up for yourself in many ways without having to be aggressive. And many of you know my story, and I have experienced, and on some levels, a lot of bullying. But it's a way to deal with it without having to have some kind of aggressive behavior, right? Again, compassion. Okay, loves. Love always wins. Love always wins. All right, here we go, loves. Where am I? With firmly grounded resilience, we're going to start at this point. Healthy mechanisms and strategies are more likely to occur. Instinctively standing up for yourself if you are bullied, helpful defense mechanism, or reaching out to friends when struggling, helpful coping strategy. We talk about reaching out to friends and family, but sometimes we reach out to them and they're not equipped to help. They may listen, they may give some advice, but a lot of times if a hurting person or unhealed person, what kind of healthy advice can they really give? If they really knew, they would utilize the strategies themselves, right? But sometimes we don't always do what we know is best to do, right? So that is really when it goes deep down and really programming and breaking those generational curses and healing those childhood wounds is necessary and needed. All right. With firmly grounded resilience, healthy mechanisms and strategies are more likely to occur. Instinctively standing up, okay, I'm not going to read that again. Whereas less grounded resilience can form unhelpful mechanisms and strategies. Acting out with aggression, we just talked about that. At perceived attacks, unhelpful defense mechanism, that is very unhelpful. It leads to greater antagonizing. Or turning to addictions during stress and difficulty, unhelpful coping strategy, which is in parentheses. We talked about addictions. What is your usual response in challenging and stressful situations? And what are your defense mechanisms? What are your go-to strategies to help prevent feeling and being feeling compassion towards yourself and feeling those feelings? Okay, are there any behaviors that could be going against your authentic needs? See, loves, we have to ask ourselves, what do I need today? What is keeping me from feeling good? What is it that I want that I'm not getting? And that usually is a trigger right there, an emotion that comes about because we're not getting what we want on some level. So we ask ourselves, what is it that I'm not getting and how can I get it, right? Without hurting or encumbering someone else's energy, okay? And by tapping in, we can better find the solution. Spirit will always guide you the right way. Okay, next, loves, we have compassion. Okay, being compassionate encompasses the ability to feel sympathy. Yes, sympathy and empathy. And empathy. Loves, I tell you, I don't read these cards. I am just so tapped in. It's like I wrote the card, right? But I love it because it really brings home what we've already talked about and the importance of these strategic focuses, focus points, and how it can really help in the healing process. All right, here we go. Being compassionate encompasses the ability to feel sympathy and empathy and the impetus to want to alleviate suffering. Yes, you have to have the desire, loves. No one else can make you heal. You have to want to heal. As with myself, I went through drug addictions. I went through alcoholism. I went through sex addiction. I went through a lot of things. So I am equipped to know the mindset of how these things can become very imprisoning mentally, spiritually, physically, in many ways. How we were met in failures growing up is of great significance in how we feel and express compassion as adults. See? We depended on the ones who were in charge of caring for us and nurturing us, right? Here we go. Caring for us and nurturing us, right? And helping us to grow and strong and healthy and all of these things. Keeping us well watered and fed and sheltered, right? We counted on these people, or anyone, if you didn't have parents in your home, that were guardians of you, that helped you, were supposed to help you work through your emotional imbalances. But again, if they were not equipped themselves, loves, unfortunately, it would never have happened, and it didn't happen. My deepest feelings go out to you. Heart, okay, goes out to you if you felt that. But now is a time that we are preparing a safe place. Tap In Healing Zone is a safe place that Spirit has helped me to build and design, to be able to address these kind of issues that really have brought many of us to places that have caused us a lot of harm, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, a lot of harm. Some of us have managed to heal these issues, and some of us have left this planet, left the world, left the physical realm without resolving the issues and having to relive it over in another lifetime. So this is why we're doing this, to help you to ascend, to help you to grow, to help you to heal and to feel better within, and to be able to express more love and compassion into the world. And as a result of that, loves, we'll have a better future. We'll have a brighter future, right? And we won't experience so much chaos and toxicity and unhealthy behaviors and focusing on all the wrong things, thinking that that's going to be the solution to things that are hurting us. No, loves, it is a defense mechanism. All right. How supported or not were you as a child, if you ever felt vulnerable or inadequate? That's a good question. Did you experience love and compassion in failures, or were you shamed or met with indifference? Many of us were. Reflect on your ability to feel compassion towards others today. Did we not talk about that, loves? Whether seeing a homeless person on the street or witnessing a friend going through a difficult time. Does it trigger sadness and sense of wanting to do something, or do you feel indifference or even anger or contempt? That's a very good question, and we just talked about that too. Consider how you were met in vulnerability in childhood. How do you think your formative experiences of compassion have shaped your ability for self-compassion today? Loves, I never read these cards, so I am able to freely channel what impression I get just from the title. And we finished off here with, it's backwards, okay, with and a very important point. How do you think your formative experiences of compassion, meaning your experiences as a child, that inner child, have shaped your ability for self-compassion today? Loves, that is the main focus. That is the thing that we really are at Tap In Healing Zone focusing on, and really trying to find those ways that we can, without shaming, without judgment, without blaming, without any of these things that we experience from other hurt people, to help us to look at these things without judgment, without self-judgment, without putting up, feeling you have to have a defense mechanism, to to run to or to go to by emotionally shutting down. Being able to open our heart chakra. It is no coincidence, loves, that we are dealing with the energy of jade today. Jade is all about the heart chakra. Jade is all about prosperity. It's about protection, those defenses, but in a good way, protecting you from many things that can do you harm. Jade is good for as well. And I want you to Google it and to get more information about jade. Jade is a very ancient crystal, and how it can be beneficial to you in your life. And share it with a friend, share it with loved ones during this holiday season. And maybe these topics here and these questions here within this session helped you to maybe look at some things that you have experienced, or that you've been feeling, even more so that you've been gathering with loved ones at this time. And not to approach your loved ones with a feeling of hurt and anger, or blaming and shaming, and trying to resolve it in that way, but doing the needed necessary inner work in order to change our situations externally is what Tapping Healing Zone is all about, to bring about more peace, to help us to be on a road of healing and revealing those inner wounds of our inner child, and bringing them to the light. Where is it? Bringing them to the light in order to be able to experience a deeper love and compassion with loved ones, with family, with friends, with colleagues, with the world. Right, loves? And this is what we aim to do, and always with love. And I want to, before we close out, I wanted you guys to ask yourself a yes or no question. A question that is going to be either yes or no answer, not an explanation. So it won't be an open-end question. It will be a specific question, okay? And I'm going to shuffle up while you think of that question, and I'm going to think of one too. And this is our little fun part of this reading. We're going to do this and get a yes or no from Spirit. Thank you, Spirit, for a yes or no question. This is for entertainment purposes only. That's another disclaimer, okay? So any information that you receive from this session is only for your help. And if you are feeling any kind of depression or any kind of thoughts of suicide of any kind, I want you to reach out to a professional help, to a psychiatrist, to the hospital, to a doctor, to an emergency. Call 911, 800 number for suicidal hotline. I want you to reach out to a friend, reach out to a loved one, reach out to someone. Do not take on the pain alone. There are many around you that can be of help, but the main person that can be in your corner, loves, is you. And with Spirit there as well, tap in to receive the love that you need, the comfort that you need, and Spirit has always been there. Spirit has always been there. Spirit is there. It's up to us to open our hearts, to tap in, and to feel the care, right? Okay, loves. Are you ready to ask your question? Okay, here we go, loves. Spirit, angels, ancestors. What is the question? The answer for our lovelies. For the collective. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, that was one card. Fell out, but it fell out to... Okay, loves, the answer is 3 of Swords, and that is not a coincidence, loves. A lot of the collective is feeling a lot of pain. This is pain in the heart. Loves, I absolutely love what it is I do. I absolutely, oh my God,